So I've got a suite of Daggerverse AI agents geared towards managing finances. I'm going to walk you through a summary of the two agents that I built, how Dagger ties into everything, and then I'm going to give you, I guess, screenshots of a demo that I ran earlier to show you the output produced by each agent. Just walk you through what each agent does in more detail. So again, the why behind this, there's actually two reasons. The first one is managing weekly spend. So I see managing a budget as it boils down to managing your day-to-day habits at the end of the day. So for us, it's keeping a track of what we spend, choosing a period of time to review the spend. So for example, once a week, you review whatever we spend, and then learn from the output of the discussion, and then repeat that process to get us closer to our financial goals, ideally. So the first AI agent is geared towards this particular problem. At the core of what this pipeline is going to solve for us is it's going to alert and prompt us to spark an informed discussion to help us optimize our weekly budget, enabling us to build habits to accelerate our long-term financial goals. So the problem just boils down to actually having a set day that we are going to discuss our financials and going in the discussion with informed regarding where our areas of where problematic areas are, basically, and then improving based on that. Go to the next slide. So the next agent that I built was centered around managing debt while growing a healthy stock portfolio. So the question this is solving at the core is, given a set of different types of debt that I could have, sorry, let me just go back. Yeah. What is the opportunity cost for prioritizing being debt-free? So for example, I could choose to pay back debt as aggressively as possible, or I could use some of the money to, I don't know, to prioritize different debts. Different interest rates and different impacts on your credit score. So not all are not all require me to pay them back very, very quickly. And the other thing I could do with the remainder of that money is buy stocks that are high performing stocks, basically. So this model is comparing or prioritizing which debts I should pay back more aggressively, and with the rest of the money, what should I invest in and why? So it's tied into things that I believe I should be investing in. So it's just kind of comparing and contrasting between those options and the debts that I have currently. So I'm going to walk you through the first AI agent. I call this budgeting buddy. So it's a series of Dagger modules that one is a pipeline that get back transactions from a spreadsheet. They filter for new transactions. They categorize the transactions based on the type of spend using a zero-shot classification model. So for example, you want to classify some transactions as groceries, some as snacks, some as entertainment, to better understand where the money is going. The data is written into a database. I use Atlas to aggregate the data and group transactions by week and the type of spend. I send the data to AI for analysis, and it learns from user feedback in the sense of we can respond to the AI to AI to kind of give it feedback regarding maybe giving us more nuanced advice. So for example, it could be a thing like I go to the gym twice a week, for example, 3 times a week, and I buy a protein shake. I would want to get to a point where the AI agent can tell me that I'm better off spending money buying a bigger sachet of protein because it'll cost less in the long run. So that's the idea behind that. And then ultimately sends an SMS to whoever's basically using the budgeting buddy in this scenario. So this is how the architecture, just walking you through how it works currently. So I am using Tiller to grab data from multiple banks. That data is sent to a spreadsheet. Once a week, I use GitHub Actions to run the parent Dagger module, basically, which starts off by fetching the transactions from the spreadsheet, filter for new transactions by checking what's in the database currently and filter for the new ones, categorizes them, writes them to the database, prepares or gets the data back in an aggregated format, sends it to AI for advice, and then sends an SMS at the end of it all. This is like a kind of a demo of the output. So as I mentioned, it's the advice right now is not as nuanced as I want it to be, but it's getting it's moving towards the right output I'm looking for. I'm going to show you some of the modules that I built, some of the Dagger modules that I built along the way. So there's a fetch. This just fetches data from a spreadsheet, basically. This just gets data from my database, compares that with the data that I fetched, and then just filters for new transactions. Categorize expenses, like I mentioned, uses a zero-shot model to categorize the transactions using like different buckets that a transaction could be categorized as. So groceries, snacks, takeouts, entertainment, transportation, etc. I haven't measured the accuracy yet, but from just like eyeballing it, it seems pretty accurate in how it's classifying transactions. And then the next module is writing the data to MongoDB, getting the transactions and aggregating them. And this is generating advice using I'm basically using LangChain to interact with multiple models for this particular part. I'm going to show you some of the code. I'm going to have it open here. I can share the links to everything after the call, actually. I'm going to move on to the second one that I built. So as I mentioned before, there were two problems. One was related to the budgeting side of things. This one's more of I call it an investment optimizer, if you want to call it that. So I'm talking about, so there's a current in there's a vision where I want this to go towards. So currently what it's doing, it's comparing the benefits of paying back debt aggressively against potential returns from investing some money in stocks and recommending how to optimally allocate the money. But I'm realizing that I'm getting more value from the stock recommendations than I am from the debt prioritization. I think that's less of a problem in some ways. So the vision is to build a newsletter recommending 2 to 3 bi-weekly stock picks, explaining in a simple but detailed manner what stocks I should look into investing, looking at historic trends, market and other fundamental data to support decisions. So basically, I need to explain back to me in very simple words what stocks I should look into based on things I'm interested in, giving me details regarding why the particular stock is interesting. I'll walk you through the vision at the end of the presentation. So what does the current agent do, the current pipeline do? So this one gets information regarding the debt. So it's using the fetch spreadsheet module, again, the same one I used in the previous agent. It then fetches information regarding the impact different types of debt have on credit score. So again, for example, some types of debt might have a bigger impact on credit utilization, things like that. It then classifies the debt. So from the information it gets from the Google search, it classifies the debt along different areas to just understand what the debt's impact on credit score is. So high, medium, low. It passes that output into a function I built to kind of readjust the interest rate for the debt. The idea behind this is that I'm not prioritizing debt payment just based on interest rate alone. I'm prioritizing based on interest rate and its impact on credit score. So I have an adjusted interest rate just based on the combination of those two things. I use another module that I built to get stocks data plus the average return over a 5-year period. The agent then pays off the minimum payments for all the debt. And then with the remaining money left, it uses a few tools and helper functions that I built to assign a percentage to the debts and stocks based on how much I would save for each 1,000 of debt paid or how much I'd make investing in stocks at the same time. So it's comparing and contrasting to see what would give me better returns. And then giving a percentage to each of those, I guess, debts and investments, and then allocating the rest of the money based on that, basically. That's what it does in a nutshell. So this is how it's been built. Just give you a more visual picture. So again, fetching data from banks using Tiller to a spreadsheet, fetching those transactions, have a function that gets the debt specifically from the transactions that I have. I restructure the data just so I can send it in a format that makes more sense for AI. And then with the agentic AI workflow, I have tools. I have the fetched stocks tool. I have a credit impact multiplier tool that's more of a function that I built that would, based on what AI passes in. So for example, it could be like high importance, moderate importance, low importance. It assigns a score to that particular, whatever the AI passes in, and then uses that to adjust the interest rate for the debt. I have another tool that I didn't include here. This is more of like a Google search, basically. So to search information regarding different types of debt, I removed that because I realized I could just cache those responses because I mean there's only so many types of debt anyway, so I don't have to keep running that multiple times. There's a payment allocator tool that is just the logic that I explained that pays off the minimums and then assigns or then compares and contrasts the value of paying back debt with the potential returns I could get from investing in stocks. And then allocates money to like everything based on that. It then creates visualizations to explain its rationale, basically. So the steps it's following is get info on debt, adjust interest rates, get the stocks, allocate payments, clear the unused stocks from memory because I'm fetching hundreds of stocks. I don't need to keep track of everything. I just need to find the ones that have historically performed well and filter for those only. Then make a recommendation, structure output, and send an email. So this time I'm using an email because it's more detail that I'm sending and there's like actual graphs involved. So it makes sense just sending it via email. So that's the current structure. This was a video demo. It's not gonna be very visible, to be honest. So just I have screenshots where I show the actual output too. That might be a little more easier to see. Here it is. So this is an example using dummy data of like what the output looks like. So it's allocating or it's prioritizing which debts to pay back more aggressively based on a set amount that I have in the dummy data. And then it's kind of explaining the thing I explained, like for every $1,000 of debt, how much would I save in interest by paying back this debt aggressively or with a set amount and comparing that with like how much it'd make from investing in stocks. So it's kind of explaining its rationale, basically. This is the current version. But going forward, like I mentioned, I'm not really seeing as much value from the prioritizing debt payment side of things, but I'm seeing more value in helping me, I guess, learn more about stocks I want to potentially look more into going forward. So I want to focus purely on like having a newsletter centered around helping me pick 2 or 3 stocks like bi-weekly or monthly in the technology, healthcare, and energy space, just based on what I'm interested in. The report explained back in detail, but as simply as possible, why I should look into investing in those stocks based on like historical returns, market risks, financial health, and just focus based on what the company is spending on, or what they've been spending on in the past, and other factors I'm going to be getting from 10Q filings and SEC 13F submissions. That's I think the ones where I think that's a hedge fund submitting what they're currently holding, basically. This is like an idea that I have regarding how I'm going to redesign the pipeline. So fetch stocks again. I'm going to have to probably segment the data of the 10Q fillings data. I want to extract the risks, the properties the company owns, stock repurchases, financials, and have different AI assistants that are tasked to basically assign a score based on comparing what the company is doing currently, what it's done in the past, and what results it has led to. Something along those lines. Still playing around with this, but seeing this is kind of like a general idea of what I have currently about how it's going to look like. But yeah, that's the long and short of what I built. As I mentioned, I will share the blogs I wrote about this, all the Dagger modules that are built along the way, and the actual slides themselves. Yeah, thanks.